Okay. Another reaction. Top Boy Max gets Lil Yachty to speak on beef. On the Uzi beef, my fault. Yep. Yo, y'all should subscribe to my boy. That's my man, bro. He cool as hell. I love his videos. I watch him all the time. Always. Anyway, Top Boy Max gets Yachty to speak on Uzi beef. Let's hear
That boy Max done blessed us with some information on Yachty
Boy,
and some beefs or static or tension that people believe that Yachty had with two rappers. So I'm gonna play you guys the clip right now.
I understand when you got, look, by the way, I ran into Uzi like, how long ago was that? I ran into like a month ago.
No, it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Really.
2-3 weeks ago. I was leaving the studio, tired as hell, 7 o'clock in the morning. I opened the door, and he was in the car. I opened his car door, and I was like, my bad. He was like, wrong car. I said, okay. I closed the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no problem, man. I ain't got no problem with Cardi either, bro. It's like, I think at this point, we're grown men. Like, we're just older now, you know? Like, we just all living our own lives, getting our own money, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you see this bracelet.
Yeah. Hard though.
Like,
no right. Shit hard though. That shit hard though. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just like niggas getting their own.
Here, there's a storied history between Lil Yachty and Lil Uzi Vert. Now, this is the weird thing, they haven't done music together despite being on the same legendary, historic, beautiful chef's kiss of a freshman class that was 2016. And there was some beef between them. So, circling back to 2017, there was supposed to be an album that came out from Yachty. He was going to drop his debut album. It was it was Teenage Emotions. And in the lead up to Teenage Emotions, keep in mind, Love is Rage 2 was gearing up to release as well. Lil Yachty and Uzi had both been releasing a bunch of tapes, right? Like, you got Perfect Love tape, Love is Rage, all of that other stuff. And 2016, Love is Rage was 2015. You guys get the idea. But with Lil Yachty, there was there was summer songs, and there was a couple
of this lighting down. I feel like it got worse when I lowered it. Let me turn it back up then. What the fuck? Is it the color? What the fuck? I think it's just like, I think it's a monitor. Whatever. Back to it.
Different things. But what started were some comments. So Uzi was showing some music. And keep in mind, at this time, people loved Uzi. And there was a lot of mixed opinions about Yachty. Now, the old heads, they just thought like Uzi looked weird.
I remember when Yachty first dropped, bro. I used to say that nigga was booty. I don't know why. I felt like I did it because I felt like everybody else was doing it. And it was like cool to hate at the moment, but yo, when I got older, Yachty was boy Yachty, bro.
Music aspect, people were rocking heavy with Uzi, and Yachty was kind of trap. Well, they were calling him like bubblegum rap. Like, keep in mind, he was on songs with Kyle, like I Spy, which, don't get me wrong, catchy song. But people were like, yo, this guy's rapping for kindergartners. And that was a kookly among others. Granted, I grew to, and I enjoyed a lot of those songs in early Yachty, but we're going to get into Teenage Emotions. But he hopped in the comments of a preview that Uzi Vert had put out, and this post has since been deleted a long time ago, but he said, sound hard, but don't sound harder than Yachty. And he added Uzi's like rolling eyes emoji that became synonymous with him. So here Yachty, and I think this is a disconnect that happens between rappers, is that they think, okay, we're cool, but we're cool, but the other rapper's like, hey, we're not that cool. And then Uzi replied and said, put out your album so I can destroy that ish with mine. And don't rap through your nose on this one. And it's like, damn, dog, like I just gave you a tap on the shoulder and you just freaking knuckled up and hit me like it's like a punch buggy. Like we just saw a punch buggy.
Not gonna lie. Y'all do be doing that. But it's a part of the sound, bro. It sounds dope. Like, he's telling him to say it with his chest, but nigga, that's Yachty's sound is dope, bro. I fuck with it. It's new, but it's still dope. It's like some young nigga shit, but
Buggy.
dope.
And then
So-
Lil Uzi Vert continued and said, "Your ass is mentally challenged. Don't try to bring that foolishness over here. You better finish your last challenge. Now go find a few girl and stop worry about boys." And oh man, that was so hilarious. Now, granted, they were trying to drop on the same day. That didn't end up panning out. Teenage Emotions released in May, whilst Love Is Rage 2 released in August.
I know
Love Is Rage
I
2
didn't know,
did like
like, Uzi and Yachty had some
135K
shit
first
going,
week,
though.
whilst Teenage Emotions did 48K, and people clowned on that album, calling it trash. It was trash, piece of garbage. Dude had two dudes kissing on the cover. He was trying to do everything, and the music sucked. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, you got to drop some heat. But after that, there were some
Niggas is not
like,
fucking with that.
there's a little bit of a history,
trying
right?
to
So
see
Lil
that shit,
Uzi
man.
Vert, he's dating JT right now, and they've been together for quite a while. Like, they seem to
surprised they
gel
still-
well together.
I'm
I
surprised
do
they still
think they
together.
look great together. They just match well. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like I'll give you.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, man. I don't want to be that. I don't know. Are we supposed to be able to see that? Is that how that works? Should we be able to see this? Oh, yeah, that's his girl, not mine.
You an example of something
My girl
that
don't
doesn't
do that.
match well. When you see a skinny rapper with a chick that's got a huge BBL, or just like a really thick chick, you're like, yo, this doesn't match well. Like, if we were creating a sculpture or an image, we would be like, yo, this doesn't look right. But if you've got like a Pete Davidson, right, with some coked out model, you're like, okay, that matches, like,
That's
you know,
fucked
the
up.
physique, all that. So Uzi matches with JT really well, and they're both a little bit crazy, and they're both
That's
a little
fucked
bit
up, you
off
said
in a
that.
good way. So Yachty was cool, because keep in mind, Yachty's from Atlanta. Uzi, he's not from Atlanta, he's from Philly. And Cardi, we're going to get into him in a little bit. But with Uzi's dating JT. Lil Yachty wrote Act Up for JT, and he knew JT from way before. They're both signed to QC. City Girls was signed to QC. So he had wrote that song, and we had come to find out that Yachty may have been involved with her intimately prior. And then also in 2017, and I think
If that's true, that could be why Uzi treating bro how to, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like it came out of nowhere, but it might not have been from out of nowhere.
it was summer or late
some
summer, and this
pent-up
was
aggression
after
from
Love Is
bro.
Rage 2. He was talking about that him and Uzi weren't friends. And then 2018, there were just like some fans were, you know, they weren't too like, they were stoking the flames. But it was in 2023 when there was some controversy when a new song came out with censored bars, and people were like, yo, the original one was dissing Lil Uzi. And Yachty called it out publicly and said like, nah, that's not true, this and that. But come on, we know what's up. And then later on, he said it's not beef, it's just competition between them, and everything's chill. And Uzi hasn't really spoken on it since.
Yeah, what is this nigga doing, bro?
Now, the reason why I think, and keep in mind also, Yachty has had frustrations
hell no.
with
What is
Cardi.
he
I don't
doing?
think they have any issues, because Yachty got put on. So this is the Yachty-Cardi connection. Yachty got really, really strong put on by Ian Connor. So this is 2015 era. Ian Connor was locked in with Ye in the fashion show. You guys remember iconic fashion show? Yachty was standing
Yeah, I
there
remember
forever.
that shit.
A lot of people believe this was like, yo, this was a moment that changed Yachty's career. And it did. But Ian Connor was also around Atlanta a lot at that time. Ian Connor also helped link him up with, I think he got him on with Ill Roots. Ill Roots was a legendary
dope-ass
blog.
logo.
They also threw these legendary after events at South by Southwest every year. I think it was it Ill America or was it Ill Fest? I'm not sure. But they brought Yachty out for, I think it was definitely his first show. It was at the MoMA in 2015. And I think this was before the Yeezy season show. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Ill Roots that brought him out there. But that was one of his first shows. And Ian Connor was instrumental in this. Ian Connor was also instrumental in bringing up Cardi at the same time, 2015. So that's where the connection comes into Yachty and Cardi. But fast forward a bunch of years later, a lot of people started to call out Yachty fans for for like copying Cardi. And there was this one, and Yachty would reply to these tweets. So there was this one tweet where this guy says, Cardi can't try one new sound without rappers immediately biting him. He's generational. And then Yachty says, biting him? How did I bite him? The beat? If that's the case, I've been working with Cardo Got Wings, since 2019, 2020 on record. Y'all fans be smoking the strongest deep. And then there was another post where people are Googling net worth. And they said, damn, he willingly jumped on that crack both feet. And they showed 8 million for Yachty and 20 million for Cardi and 90 million for, I think that was Kendrick. All of these numbers are wrong. And then Yachty quotes it and says, I made 8 million in my first 8 months of rapping in 2016 on God. This is also why when Yachty made the comments earlier in that clip talking about, yeah, you know.
Damn, 8 million? Damn. That nigga blew up crazy.
Oh, we grown now. We all get.
Bro, I've always said this. Whenever some crazy ass new nigga come up and he's like a millionaire, he's dropping shit and money's going crazy. Like, where is this money coming from? Where's this money coming from? This shit is like coming out of thin air. It's gotta be fake. This shit is just dropping out of thin air. Jesus Christ.
And money's like, bro, when are you gonna stop talking? It's not, I don't have a problem with them talking about getting money, but you made like 13 million in your first year, you were saying. So yo, the whole like, yo, we getting money, you left that 8 years ago. Like, you been getting money. It's not like a we get it thing, but it's like, yo, what's the next level? And we're gonna get into the next level in a little bit of a second here. So we had Yachty replying to that, and then academics even claimed that Yachty was changing his sound up because of Cardi. And then Yachty says, you are so insane. I didn't tell you this at all. Stop drinking, bro. I said Tyler encouraged me to take that route. And he's talking about when Yachty dropped that project. Damn, I'm forgetting the name of the project, but it was received very, very well. And this is where I understand Yachty's frustration. Let's start here. That was the project. It just came back to me in my mind. This is where I understand Yachty's frustration, because he's like, yo, let's start here. Is a completely different sound from anything Yachty's been doing. It was completely different from anything anybody else was doing. But because Cardi did Whole Lotta Red and he changed his stuff up, Yachty's getting compared to Cardi? How? And I understand that frustration. But Cardi was just like the biggest thing, and that he just got compared to him. So I think this was, I don't think Yachty really ever had much of a problem.
God damn. Why the motherfuckers that in one ear, bro? Wait. Like, I'm not super addicted to jewelry and like materialistic, but fuck, that shit look
I think
crazy.
Yachty really ever
man
had much of a problem with Cardi. It was just like some competition stuff. But the reason why I think Yachty is a lot less frustrated now than he might have been in the past is because Yachty's in a great position. Let's just think musically, right? Why would he beef with Uzi? I don't think Yachty is tripping off of JT at all. And whose music and career do you think is in a better position right now? Now, Uzi, don't kill me for this. Please, you guys know how much I love Lil Uzi Vert's catalog. Like, I've always, back in when EA came out, I said, we don't even need an EA. I've got enough.
Bro, I swear, dude. I swear, Lil Uzi. Sometimes, like, I fuck with Uzi. Don't get me wrong. I fuck with Uzi. I love Uzi. Bro, but he act like a 13-year-old black girl that's still in the hood. Like, he looked like the type of dude to go and walk to the stove, skip to the stove, grab some hot Cheetos, some Takis, hot Cheetos, and some cotton candy, Fago or something, you know what I'm saying? Be on the corner with his phone at the bench at the park hitting this bullshit. Grown ass man though, he 30, like, or 40, yeah, I think he's like 30 now. Damn,
Uzi Vert for my entire life.
What
like,
girl?
This just, man, amazing.
Oh my
but
God. What was that? What are you doing?
Enough Uzi Vert for my entire life. Like, this just, man,
This nigga
amazing.
dance like
but
my
people
little
aren't
cousins.
too hyped for Uzi releases like they were. People haven't been talking too positively about Uzi releases since EA1, really. And then you've got Yachty, who people are really excited about. Every time we learn more information about Yachty musically, we grow to appreciate
Why
it.
is he using this footage? Why is he doing that?
Like, he had that song with J. Cole, which was tough.
Thank you.
We find out that he handed Drake an entire song, Jumbotron.
I miss this Drake, bro. This was Drake, bro. Damn.
on Ish Poppin'. We see him, Let's Start Here, for instance, which it's not that I didn't like it, it's that I just felt like it was overblown how great it was from people's perspective, because I've listened to that type of music for a lot of my life, not most of my life, and people are anticipating new Yachty. So Yachty's in a position where they're like, yo, that's that guy when it comes to like this art stuff. And then the same can't really be said about Uzi right now. So I think Yachty's like, yo,
the same will never be said about Uzi. Uzi will never get that shit, bro. He's just not that type of guy. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm deleting this video, but I'm not. So until then, video stays up. But I don't think Uzi got it in him, bro. You seen them fucking 13-year-old girl TikTok dances? He can't do it.
Commercially, I may not be as successful with my brand, right? Like forward facing. Behind the scenes, I am. And I think Yachty's grown to be very, very confident in himself as an artist to where things aren't swaying him as much as they used to. And he recognizes that in competition, quote unquote, with Uzi. Now with Cardi, I don't think there was ever really a problem. I think they're in completely different lanes. I don't even group them together whatsoever. Like they're just both rappers that are from Atlanta. And yeah, obviously that Ian Connor connection from way back. But other than that, I don't really get that part. But I'm glad to see Yachty just burying the hatchet and letting it be known publicly. Him running into Uzi is funny. Imagine you open the door and you just see Uzi. He's like, yo, wrong car, bro. Oh, man. But it's a good thing. Like, isn't it a great thing that class, they're just all cool with each other? They don't got any problems with each other. We just need, Lil Dicky really played hip-hop like that. I was not about to say we need Lil Dicky to come back.
Hell no.
Right hand to God. Nigga. I promise you I was not going to say that. But thankfully, G Herbo, G Herbo was on that class too? I keep forgetting that. I'm about to start rambling. I could go on for hours. So this is when I know to end the video. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Like
he said, let me know what you think about that in the comments. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know they had no type of beef. But the way Uzi was acting though, it seemed a little weird. Like Yachty says something about his album. Uzi snaps something about his album, calling him weird, slow nigga, and don't rap from your nose and shit. Like, I don't know, he came off a bit aggressive. So, here's that. All right then, that's that.